Call him and see what's up. Hey, how's it going?
It's going good. How about yourself?
I am going pretty good, pretty hunky-dory okay. I'm streaming right now. You can call me Matt, you can call me Gunday, you can call me, what do you mean you didn't have Smite? You know, I respond to all those. What can I call you?
You can just call me Nathan.
Nathan, cool. I can work with that. So you wanted to go over, hey, you're jungling, you can be farming, you can be ganking. When is it good to do one, when is it good to do the other?
Yeah, basically.
Anything else? And I know you said we only have until 11, which is 57 minutes.
Yeah. Not really sure. Just point out whatever you think would be helpful, which would be nice. Yeah.
But if we just focus around that, that'll be fine.
Yeah.
I'm going to screen share with you because I use like a website tool called RiftKit. It's kind of like a map of Summoner's Rift. If the screen share breaks, it's probably my fault, not yours. It just means like my wife started watching Netflix, so just yell at me if it goes gray or you're not seeing stuff.
Okie dokie.
But I'll use that to kind of show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so first thing, I've never really talked to you. I don't know what you know. But to start this off, because it's very important, how do you win the game? And if you've watched some of my other videos, you might know already.
I have not watched any of your videos.
Perfect.
But you kill the Nexus.
Awesome. What's the other way you can win?
Them surrendering.
Yep.
I guess.
Let's focus on killing the Nexus though, because them surrendering, there's an art to the bad manners that go into forcing, them to just give up the will to carry on, so to speak. So right before you click the Nexus, what do you have to do?
Well, I guess kill inhibs, things like that.
Inhibs?
Well,
I'm seriously, very simple questions, very easy. Just what do you have to do before you're even allowed to right-click the Nexus?
Well, you have to kill all the towers in a lane. Well,
Cool. Okay, that's good. So kill the Nexus towers. You mentioned all the towers in a lane. That's so you can get an inhibitor, right? Because to click these, you have to get at least one inhibitor. Just making sure you know. I had a platinum player that thought you had to take all 3 inhibitors before you could start whittling away at the Nexus. Just letting you know. This stuff is important. It matters.
Yeah.
So you have to get the Nexus towers. To get the Nexus towers, you have to get at least one inhibitor. To get one inhibitor, what do you have to do? You already said it. Just repeat it for me so I know you know.
Just kill the turrets.
Okay, cool. How do you get the turrets?
You just have to hit them with auto attacks, more or less.
Do you just walk up to them and hit them with auto attacks?
Well, you're gonna need some minions, or else you're gonna die, most likely.
Yeah, because the tower's gonna hit you. Okay, well, what if the enemy team won't let you push the minions up, so you can right-click the towers? What if they're like playing League of Legends?
Get a gank. I don't know. Just depends on the situation, kind of. It's like, where's your team?
I'm glad you said depends, because in League of Legends, that is always the correct answer. But yeah, like you said, you need to work with your team to either kill them, force them out of the lane, something, so you can push up the minions, so you can right-click the tower, so you can right-click the next tower, so you can right-click the next tower, so you can right-click an inhibitor, so you can right-click the Nexus tower, so you can right-click the Nexus, so you can win the game. Pretty basic concept, right? The game isn't hard when you break it down like that.
Yeah.
So kind of going in that regard, as a jungler, you're asking, okay, I can be farming and I can be ganking. When is it better to be farming? When is it better to be ganking? That was the question you asked me up there. So what do you think? And this is my coaching style. I ask questions, then we talk about it till I kind of drive you where I want to be.
Okay. So, well, more or less, you just farm when all your lanes are pushed forward, like early game, more or less. And you want to gank when your lanes are pushed, or you see a place where you can counter gank.
Well, maybe. And I'm just writing this down because I'm going to give you a video afterwards. So by the way, don't take notes. Also, I talk too much, so interrupt me if you have a question. I won't be offended.
All right.
But that's right and wrong, because there are some times when you don't want to gank. Like let's say for example, and again looking at Riftkit, let's say that top is all the way pushed in. Let's say your top laner's here, their top laner's here. Let's say there's an infernal dragon right here, and your bot lane is right here. You know, so you're the blue team, they're the orange team, and you're like right here. You're gonna have
Yep.
time to gank here. You're gonna have time to gank here. Mid lane he's doing something dumb. I don't know. He's up here.
Okay.
I don't know, but there's an Infernal Dragon here. There's a Rift Herald here. It's early in the game. Let's say it's like 7 minutes. You're like level 5. What jungler do you like playing?
Well, recently I've just been playing a lot of Diana.
Okay, you're a level 5 Diana. That's actually perfect.
So, usually I just farm till 6, to be honest. I don't gank often unless I see an easy kill.
Okay, so that's actually good. Why are you farming until 6?
Because Diana kind of needs her dash to make things easier, I guess. I don't know. I find it... Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm writing that out because that's important. On some junglers, like, you are literally worthless until you hit 6. So again, going back, it depends, right? If you're playing Warwick, you're probably not going to get a successful gank until you unlock your ultimate at level 6. Same thing with Diana, unless they're just dumb. I had someone in my Diamond 4 promo game who was essentially tower diving level 2, and the Diana would just walk out of the jungle and right-click him once, you know? I mean, if it's free, sure, take it, but normally you need your ult to do your combo, right?
Yeah.
So it depends. But some junglers, it's better to farm because you unlock a pretty beefy power spike. Others, it's better to just be super duper aggressive because you don't need one. Think like Udyr. He doesn't even have an ultimate. You know, he can just run in there and do stuff. Lee Sin, very, very strong, like at level 3 when he unlocks his full kit. You know, so it depends again. It's kind of right. From a winning the game perspective, when do you think it's better to gank? And maybe this situation is kind of good to look at. You have an Infernal Dragon here. Here, let me just write it out. We'll make it a big ol' I. You got Rift Herald here. It's like 7 minutes into the game. These guys are pushed up. These guys are pushed up. What would you want to know to make this decision? Also, you're a level 5 Diana, and you just hit level 5. Okay. You need like 3 more camps if you're going to hit 6.
Okay. Well, I'd probably clear the jungle, to be honest, before I even... And then I'd probably... Depends on how much health I'd have to gank bot. And then I don't think I'd have anything else to finish off Inferno.
Alright, so I think like the answer is still it depends there. I like how you're saying I want to clear better because I'm Diana and I want to get my ult. Yeah. But let's say this guy is, you know, top. You have kind of a snowballing champ top. Let's say like your top laner's an Irelia. This guy is like an Olaf or something that's pretty strong early, but then kind of falls off a little late game.
Yeah.
And he's at 300 health. And he's up here. Irelia's telling you no wards. You know, he's out of mana too. He burned his flash earlier trying to get a kill. You know, she's teleported back to lane. She's full health. He just has a death wish.
Yeah.
Do you want to just farm your jungle?
Probably not. If I got an Olaf there, I guess it's pretty easy to have a successful gank at that point, probably.
Yeah, and what can she do as an Irelia?
Not much, since that she's not, like, our minions aren't pushed, so there's, like, no way she can really escape, and everything's burned, you said.
Well, Irelia's friendly. Let's say you're blue, she's blue. Yeah, and Olaf's the orange guy. He's at 300 health. He's just like, please gank me. I'm essentially a minion that's worth more gold than usual.
Oh, then yeah. So basically, just go in, more or less.
Yeah, because she'll jump in, stun him. She can probably kill him without you too. But I'm just making it like, oh my god, please gank me. You know, just yelling at you. So if you go top, what do you give up on the other side of the map potentially?
Fire Dragon and maybe some kills bot, like our bot lane.
Well, your bot lane's pushed in. Remember, we set that up. Top and bot are pushed in. And I'm going to do the... It's kind of symmetrical. I'm going to be like, okay, well, what if you gank bot after this? So we'll go through the pros and cons of both. Okay. But yeah, potentially the enemy jungler, maybe it's something like Fiddlesticks that can just solo Dragon easily. He could walk down here and take the Fire Dragon. He could walk down here and maybe tower dive. It kind of depends who your bot lane is. Is it something super safe that can fend off a tower dive? Are they ahead? Are they behind? Do they need a gank? Something like that. Does your team want Infernal Dragon? There's all these things to think about, right? But let's say you go top, you get the kill here. What are things you can take after?
Maybe... Wait, so we know that the jungler's in the other, like, bot lane?
I don't know. It depends. Do you know?
Probably not at this point, to be honest.
So here's one thing that you want to know. Stuff to know. And this is what I think about when I'm like suggesting, okay, I could go gank top. My top laner's telling me there's no wards. You know, here, let's actually just list it out. What are all the things you'd want to know? I'm gonna say wards. So vision. Why is that important?
Just to see what's happening, like if what their team's trying to coordinate and how you can make it go in your favor instead of theirs.
Sure, and if you know that they don't have wards, you know, maybe the Olaf hasn't bought a ward, he hasn't bought a pink, his trinket just wore off, and Irelia's timing it because she's next level. If he doesn't have a ward top, what does that mean for you as a jungler?
That means that you have a high chance of getting a successful gank, like ganking successfully.
For sure. Now let's say you have wards or your support has wards, and you have one here and here, and you see the enemy jungler bot, you know, he's clearing Gromp.
Yeah.
You know, so that's another thing that warding could be. And I'm just throwing stuff up to show you things, right? So another one I would want to know is, where is the enemy jungler? And I'm just throwing this out there because you already said it.
Yeah.
So if you didn't know where the enemy jungler is, do you still want to do this gank?
Probably, yeah.
Why?
More or less, the Olaf is at a disadvantage if you get there first, and you're pretty bursty, so you probably kill him pretty fast, to be honest.
Okay, so you kill him fast. What if you don't know where the jungler is? So you're saying if he was up here, like we didn't have these wards, we didn't know where he was, you know, Olaf's baiting because he thinks he can survive with 300 health for some reason, you know, and then the enemy jungler comes in, like here, we said it was Fiddlesticks earlier, you know, he ults over the wall, you're still level 5 for whatever reason. You can probably kill the Olaf, you can probably take the Fiddlesticks is what you're saying, because it's still a 2v1 at that point. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I don't know about that. But actually, yeah, I think so. If the Irelia, like, times her stun and everything right, it's still possible.
If he jumps in with his ult, he'll probably be more health than her, so that means her stun will be fine. If she stuns the Olaf to start the thing, her stun's like on what, like an 8-second cooldown? It'll probably be up. Your Diana, depending on what your cooldowns are at, you might have your, you know, your little suction vacuum move. What is that? Your E? I haven't played Diana in a while.
Yeah, it's your E.
That can interrupt his heal and stuff too. Yeah. Like, you have a couple things, but he's pretty squishy. You can probably blow him up.
Yep.
So let's say, yeah, you can get the Olaf. If he comes up here, sure, you win. And then you either take a tower, you take Rift Herald, something else. Let's say that he's not up there. And let's say you don't have these wards, and he's just farming his Gromp, but you don't know this. And you go top. And you kill the Olaf. Great. What is the Fiddlesticks probably going to do if he's not complete garbage?
Probably try something mid, I don't know. At this point, because like our bot lane's still push.
Well, remember,
maybe
he's
solo
6.
dragon.
He could, so his options are probably, you know, force a dive bot. Remember, you're top, you're not bot. You probably don't have teleport as your second summoner. So he's thinking, okay, I can get away with something a little riskier bot because I know the enemy jungler won't come to counter. I could solo the Infernal Dragon, which is really, really good. Why is the Fire Dragon better than the other ones? I like how you call it Fire, too, because I call them the Captain Planet names as well.
Oh, just more or less, because it does. I don't really know the effects, but I know it's like just red buff, kind of more or less, a little bit burn effects.
Actually, no. We can walk through this real quick. We're only 16 minutes in, so we have 45 minutes. But this is also important for when should I gank, when should I farm. Here is kind of the order of which dragons are best, and I'll just tell you since we're kind of speedrunning. Normally, I'd ask you to figure it out.
Wouldn't it be Ground Drake? To be honest, I don't know. I'm pretty sure
why do you think?
Just because sieging, it makes sieging a lot easier.
So, it does and it doesn't. What does a Ground Drake give you?
I'm not sure. I really have not been paying attention. I just get them because I know it's an advantage, really.
I mean, it's not bad to get them. But if you had to choose between an Infernal and a Ground, I think you would want one way more than the other.
Yeah.
Here, do you want me to walk you through why?
Yeah, sure. I'm fine with that, yeah.
Okay, let's start with the Ground Dragon, which I personally believe is the worst dragon.
Oh,
and again, the answer is it depends. What the Ground Dragon does is it gives you extra damage against towers and epic monsters.
Mm-hmm.
So extra damage against dragons, Rift Heralds, Barons, which means you can sneak Barons at 20 minutes a little bit easier. You can do other dragons a little bit easier, and you can take towers a little bit easier. But at the same time, so extra damage to objectives, let's call it. At the same time, what if the enemy team doesn't let you, right-click a tower because they're standing in your way and they're playing League of Legends? It does literally nothing for you in a team fight.
Mm-hmm.
So it's good sometimes. Let's say you have an unkillable split pusher who's up 5 kills and you gave them Rift Herald. He's going to be, it's like a Tryndamere or something that's smurfing, and he's up against some poor silver player learning a champion for the first time in ranked. Ground Dragon might be a fantastic dragon to get in that situation because, he'll just kill them and then he has free access to towers. But again, like, he probably didn't need that to win anyway. It'll just speed things up. The Ground Dragon's a win more objective. Like, if it just helps you win more, win faster. My 2 cents, by the way. Feel free to argue with me. Okay. Another reason I think it's worse is because the other dragons just give you more gold worth of stats. So the Infernal Dragon, what it does is when you take it, everyone on your team gets 8% bonus AD and AP.
Oh, that's pretty good.
It's really good. So my favorite example is there's a streamer named Skara. He used to be a coach. He used to be a player for Dignitas. He was playing Veigar mid in a challenger game, and for whatever reason, he was just on fire. He had like a perfect game running. He had just bought his death cap. He had 1,000 AP at 28 minutes into the game.
Oh, that's busted.
Okay. He didn't miss a Q. Remember, Veigar, every time he kills something with a Q, he gets some AP. When he hits a champion with a Q, he gets some AP.
I thought it was everything now.
Veigar, Wiki. Let's see. I haven't played him in a while. Maybe that's how Skara got.
The rework. I thought they changed it.
Veigar gains a stack of Phenomenal Evil when he hits an enemy champion with an ability, and 3 stacks whenever he scores a champion takedown. Veigar gains 1 ability power for every stack of Phenomenal Evil. So is it just when he hits a champion with an ability?
I don't know, but...
Yeah, actually, it looks like it's right. So he has to hit an enemy champion with an ability. I thought it was farming. Yeah, maybe you're right. Here.
No, it used to be. It changed since they did the rework.
Here. Killing a unit with Baleful Strike, his Q, gives 1 stack of Phenomenal Evil, doubled against large minions and monsters. So he can still farm it up.
Oh, okay.
And then if he hits a champion with any ability, so if he just like throws his wrestling ring on you and he lands it, he just gets, 1 stack of this. And then for every stack of the Phenomenal Evil, he gets 1 ability power. So Skara, for whatever reason, just didn't miss an ability, and in 28 minutes had 1,000 AP just from that passive and death cap multiplying it out, and his other items too. Now, if we go back to our example, Infernal Dragon, if you have 1,000 AP, what's 8% of 1,000?
Yeah, big number. I don't.
Well, what's 8% of 100?
8.
8. Like, add a 0 on the end. It's 8 for 1,000, right? So it's 8. How much AP do most items give you? Like, if he was going to buy a Zhonya's Hourglass, how much AP would that be?
I feel like it's 60-ish.
Let's see. I don't know. They change the stuff all the time.
Yeah, they changed it. I don't remember.
So if you take that dragon and Skara's on your team, at 28 minutes, you have bought him more than a Zhonya's Hourglass worth of AP. So you've essentially gotten him a 7th item.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah, now if you get another Infernal Dragon, double it. It's another 8%, 16%. You bought him 2. If you get another one, that's 24%. So that's 3 times 80 AP. That's a lot of AP. And that's being multiplied by a death cap. It's a lot of freaking stats. Another thing to think about, do you know how to calculate the gold worth of stats? I talk about this all the time on my coaching sessions. But
no, I never do that.
Leave it to the nerds to figure it out. If you just go to like pro builds or look at what pro players are building, they probably have the optimal build path. But what they're doing to figure that out is they're like, here, Amplifying Tome costs 435 gold, gives you, 20 ability power. The way they're figuring out this, which is saying 1 stat of ability power is worth 21.75 gold, is they're going, okay, well, 435 gold divided by 20 equals 21.75. And they're saying that's how much gold 1 point of ability power is. How much did we say, like, 1 freaking Infernal Dragon gives a Veigar of 1,000 AP?
80.
80,
AP.
right? So
Yeah.
let's do this. 21.75 per 1 AP times 80. You're giving your mid laners 1,700 gold.
That's quite a bit of gold.
So let's say, you know, Veigar doesn't have 1,000. Let's say he has, I don't know, 500, so half that. You're giving him 870 gold. And that'll only get stronger as that scales up. Now Veigar's not the only one on your team. Who else is going to be buying a lot of AD or AP?
ADC.
The ADC. Literally, they have an AD in their name because they're an AD carry, you know?
Yeah.
So let's say that they have like 500 AD. That's a pretty standard thing. The way to figure out AD, you do the same kind of calculation. Longsword. 35 gold for that. And again, just trust me on this. And I'm screen sharing, so if this is gray, I mean, whatever. But they're just doing 350 gold divided by 10 to get 35. So
Yeah.
So let's say they have 500 AD because it's late game or whatever. So what's 0.8 of that? 40 times 30. You're giving them 1,200 gold worth of stats.
Alrighty.
But so if you add that up, you know, assume that one freaking Infernal Dragon late game at the very least will be worth 3 grand to your team in stats. And on Deanna, do you generally build like damage items?
Yeah.
So it's not just your carries. You like it too.
Yeah.
How much damage, how many combat stats does the Ground Dragon give you?
None. Well,
Literally none.
yeah.
It's just going to make you take down Baron or whatever faster. But if you kill the enemy team, I mean, it doesn't matter how long it takes to get Baron, right?
Yeah.
That's the way I think about it. It may be wrong, but still. So figure this guy here is anywhere from 2,000 to 5,000, depending on your team, gold worth of combat stats. Talking about the Infernal Dragon again. Here, let's call it Fire, too, because I like that you call them the Captain Planet names. What do you think the second best dragon is?
I think maybe the Ocean Dragon, just so that you can just, if you got poked down, you can just heal up before a team fight, which is nice.
I'm going to just tell you, yeah, and I've done the calculation before. That healing, just the health alone, if you're a tank, is worth like 100 gold every 8 seconds, or 150 gold. So it's anywhere from 100 to 300 gold every 8 seconds of just healing. And I'm not counting the mana regen either, which is also worth quite a bit. So if you actually use it well, if you have a split pusher that knows how to back off and heal up in a bush, or if you guys are just dodging poke well while sieging, Ocean Dragon, the Water Dragon, very, very good, because the amount of gold you get is ridiculously efficient compared to like the other dragons out there. So Fire Dragon multiplies out your combat stats. This heals you for a percent of your health and mana every 8 seconds that you aren't in combat. And the way the game is coded, I tested this the other day, in combat means you are being attacked by an enemy champion. So if you are just blasting someone with abilities, or like a minion is hitting you, or you're farming jungle camps, this will still be healing you up. And that kind of varies depending on what Riot's spaghetti code is at. So like next patch it might change when they tweak some stuff. But right now, in the current state of the game, that's accurate. So it's just really good. Figure about 200 gold, 200 to 300 gold worth of regen every 8 seconds. So if you time that out over the course of the game, you're getting a lot of money for that one dragon. What about, what's the last dragon? Why do I think it's the third one?
The Wind Dragon. It gives the speed, makes it faster. I think that's all it does.
And this one's an easy calculation. It gives 15 movement speed to everybody. If you look at boots, you can figure out how much that's worth. It's literally 900 gold of movement speed to your team. And that's out of combat movement speed, but still.
Yeah.
So this is the way I would think about the dragons. Like the fire one, the infernal one, really, really freaking good. The ocean one, the water one, second to the infernal, just because if you have the infernal and you kill them before they have a chance to heal, like you just burst them, that's pretty damn good. This one, this could be stronger, the ocean dragon, in certain situations, but like you're down in silver. I mean, I'm in diamond 5 right now, and my teammates don't use this. I had a game where I had 3 ocean dragons, and we were trying to just tower dive and all in with a poke comp, and I'm like, it's my promo games, come on, please. So again, it depends. But still, and Wind Dragon, like if you kill a tower, it's worth 800 gold to your team. So the Wind Dragon is still pretty good. It gives you more than a tower's worth of gold, but no combat stats. It just helps you get to the fight faster, or it helps you run away faster, or whatever. But still better than the Ground Dragon, the Earth Dragon. At least in my opinion. So going back to what we were actually talking about, up here, if the enemy jungler has a brain, you just gank top, killed Olaf. We don't know where Fiddlesticks is, you know, and I'm just saying Fiddlesticks because he is a jungler that can solo a dragon pretty early. He's like level 6. So what are his options again? He just saw you top, so while you're ganking top, he has free reign on the bottom half of the map, because you're up here, you can't really stop him.
Yep. Well, he could steal my camps, dragon, scuttle, like just get more vision, see what's happening bot.
So let's do this. What
Quite a
can
bit.
Fiddle do? Invade, steal camps plus ward.
Yep.
You said he could gank bot.
Maybe, depending
Bot, maybe.
on like defeats.
What else can he do?
He could probably sign mid.
Yep, he could gank mid.
Uh,
Again, I'll type maybe. What else can he do? Just list out everything, even if it's bad.
continue farming.
He could continue farming his own jungle. Because we already said he could invade and farm your jungle. What's the other thing he could do? I was kind of hinting at it when we went through all the dragons.
He could, well...
He could just solo dragon, right? Because he can do that with his kit.
Yeah.
Alright, so... And in this case, we're saying it's an Infernal, just to make it extra super juicy.
Okie doke.
So if you were the enemy Fiddlesticks, which one of these would you do and why?
I'd probably solo the dragon just because we talked about how much it's worth a lot of gold, basically.
Yeah, I think this is the winner.
Yeah.
I agree. Okay, so what's the next best and why? And we can also approach it, what's the worst thing he could do?
The worst thing he could probably do is continue farming. Well,
yeah, his own jungle?
Yeah, probably his own jungle.
Why?
Because it's adding no pressure to the map compared to what we already did. So he's basically doing nothing while I've accomplished a goal and set my team farther ahead in gold.
I agree.
And farm.
The reason that it is good to invade and stuff and that it's good to get ganks off is because pretty much every time you kill someone, like here, let's walk through the math real quick. We kill Olaf top, right? How much is a kill worth?
Is it first blood? I don't know.
Let's say it's a regular kill. Team was super ham early, they got first blood already.
I don't even remember. I don't know. It's like 150?
300 gold when you get a kill.
Yeah,
all right.
300.
So what else do you get when you kill somebody? Let's say there's two of you.
An assist, so they get 100 gold, I think. 150 maybe.
The way assists work is it's half the gold that you get for the kill.
Oh, okay.
Split up evenly between the people assisting.
Oh, okay.
And there's weird math if the person's on a killing spree, like it can be a lot more because the kill can be worth 500 gold, and then there's like weird global gold that gets split up amongst your team, and then the assist is a little bit bigger. But let's just say the Olaf, this is the second kill of the game, he hasn't killed anybody, so 300 gold to whoever kills him, 150 gold to whoever assisted the kill, whoever didn't get the kill. So 300 plus 150 is...
450.
450, okay. So is that more than the 3,000 gold he'll be getting from? Not yet. Okay, but what else do you get? Olaf's dead. What are you going to do? Remember the lane was pushed up.
Tower, probably.
Okay, what do you have to do to get to the tower?
Kill minions, farm.
Kill minions. So let's say there's probably like a wave here, maybe another wave coming here. How much gold is each wave of minions worth?
Doesn't it just depend if it's a reinforcement wave as well? Like.
Yep. So figure each minion, let's just make the math easy, is worth 20 gold, the cannon minion worth 45 or 50 gold. So there's 6 minions in a wave, and caster minions worth a little bit less, melee minions worth a little bit more. But figure each wave is like 20 times 6, so quick math, 120 gold or so.
Yeah.
So 120, 120. Let's say there is no cannon minion, just to make the math easy. Add another 240 gold into the mix. So we're at 450 plus 240 gold. What is that? Let's make it 250 to make the math easier. So we're up to 700 gold, let's call it. Just because we have perfect CS farming the minions. What else do you get when you kill the minions? You get gold.
Get closer to the tower.
You get closer to the tower. I'm talking stat-wise, resource-wise.
I'm not sure.
You get experience too, right?
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. That's what I meant.
So
yeah.
if you convert every single stat in League of Legends into gold, like if you're like, hey, every time I level up as Diana, I get a little bit of extra health, right? I get a little bit more mana. I get a little bit of AP probably. You know, there's stuff like that. All of those stats are worth gold if we do that same kind of calculation. So sometimes on certain champions, it's really, really efficient just to get levels because the way you scale, you get so much out of it. Or maybe like the ability you unlock. You mentioned you unlock a lot of damage at level 6 because you get your ultimate and your combos on Diana. So sometimes the experience is just as important as the gold. So be thinking about that too. I'm not going to do the math there, but figure you get some more gold for that experience as well. Now, if we push up these minion waves to the tower, what's the tower going to do to our minions?
Kill them.
Kill them. If Olaf's dead or in base, is he going to be able to get those?
Nope, so you're denying him farm.
So let's say that we deny him 3 waves. Well, we already said 2 waves was worth about 250 gold, right?
Yeah.
So 3 waves would be worth a little bit more, maybe like 300 gold, something like that. Just maybe he gets back and hits the last 3. I don't know.
Yeah.
So if you add all that up, so your guys are probably getting 700 gold plus the experience. Olaf is losing, figure, 300 gold plus the experience. That's a swing of about 1,000 gold in your favor if you pull off a successful gank and then shove the lane. If you get a tower on top of all that, how much is the tower worth to your team? We said it earlier. I'm just seeing if you remember.
Towers. I thought it was only 100.
Depends where you are. Let's say that you and who did we say top was? Irelia. Let's say both of you guys kill this tower, and you're standing right there when it goes down. What happens? If you don't know, this is fine, but this should be in the back of your head.
Isn't it about like who actually like kills the tower, gets the final hit, like a minion or?
Nope. You don't have to last hit it. You actually just have to be standing near it.
Okay.
You want me to just tell you?
Yeah, sure.
Because we got 25 minutes. You had something at 11, right? So I'm trying to rush it along. Normally I'd let you struggle. It's like if I'm spotting you while you're bench pressing, I'm not going to just pick the bar up. I want you to struggle with it to build your muscles a little bit, but whatever. If you kill the tower, it is 300 local gold, at least for the first ones. It varies a little for the latter ones. To anybody standing nearby, split up evenly. So if you guys were both right on top of the tower, Irelia would get 150, you would get 150. Everybody else on your team gets 100 gold. So 100 to you, 100 to Irelia, 100 to mid, 100 to bot. They don't have to do anything. It's just 500 global gold. If you add that up, the tower as a whole to your team is worth 800 gold. So going back, making it full circle, if you kill Olaf and you take this tower and you deny him those 2 waves because you like bounce the wave perfectly, you let every minion die to the tower before you take the tower, you get the last hit on it. That's pretty much, let's call it 1,800 gold in your favor as a team if you're like just playing perfectly.
Yeah.
Now, still not as much as that Infernal Dragon, but still, that Infernal Dragon you kind of need to scale. You need to buy items for it to be all the way worth. So it's probably about a push, in my opinion. But here, going back to that, so think about the ganks working the same way mid, working the same way bot. You know, you're going to get about 1,000 gold worth of stuff more if you take a tower every time you pull off a successful gank and push the wave. And you should always push the wave if you can, so you can deny the enemy team resources. So if Fiddlesticks ganks bot, remember we said the Infernal Dragon, let's just call it 3,000 gold just to make it easy to do the calculations.
Okay.
If you gank bot and pull it off, let's call it 2,000 gold, because There's 2 people to kill. You're going to have a little bit more gold. You're denying 2 people experience. You can probably take the tower with 3 people because you got a support wailing away on it too. Probably pretty good. If you gank mid, let's call it 1,200 gold. Because you probably won't be able to take the tower, but the minions actually get to mid faster because the lane is shorter, so they'll miss more minions. So a little bit more. That's one of the reasons you send somebody that really likes gold mid, that they just get more minions faster because they have less time to travel from the Nexus to get mid versus bot or top. So, and then if you invade, let's walk through the math here. How much, about, round up to the nearest 100, is each camp worth in gold? About 100, right?
Yeah.
So let's say that he just farmed his own jungle. That was the one we said was the worst at the beginning. And you're right. He got this, and his blue buff was up. How much is this worth in gold?
300.
And then he has the experience, so maybe it's like half a level of experience. So maybe 400 gold you could argue for. I don't know. Just because you got to convert the experience into the stats he gets from leveling up. So what happens if he invades you? And like, let's say all these buffs are up. So you got 1, 2, 3. And you're top, so there's nothing you can do about it. How much gold does he get?
So did he already clear his, or no, he didn't? Okay.
He hasn't cleared his yet. These are all up. He saw you top, so he's like, oh, I'll do this later.
So the same amount, 300.
Yeah, 300. But another thing to think about, when you go back bot to go do your jungle, because you're probably going to do that. I'm assuming like this might be dead and you just went top and got him. Or after this, you're going to come through here, clear this, and then go bot, or then recall and buy some items with all the gold you got top lane, right? Are these going to be up when you come back? No, probably not, right? So how much gold did he cost you by invading?
Like 300.
300. And if he's good, what he'll do is he'll leave one little chicken up, or he'll leave the little Krug up, because the respawn timer only goes off when the entire camp is killed. So figure he did that. He's costing you quite a bit of gold and experience by doing that. Because, again, it's 100 gold per camp, so that's 300 gold he got that you didn't. So that's plus 600 for his team, if you think about it. So he got 300, you're minus 300. Also, if he messed with the respawn timers, they're going to show up, at least 2 of them, 2 minutes later after you clear them. So he's really costing you another 200 gold there. So figure, like, net, he's up 800 gold if he then goes and farms his own jungle, just in the farming race. So doing that, figure he is, plus 800 gold, and he gets wards, so he knows where you are. So if he wants to like gank top and he sees you down here, he's like, okay, this is free. I don't have to worry about a counter gank or anything. And again, like we said, if he just goes and farms his own jungle, he's just plus 300 gold. So here, and I'm screen sharing, remember. So if we're looking at this, probably the best possible situation, and this is with tower, is for Fiddlesticks to do the dragon. Second best is probably gank bot, and this is more gold just because there's 2 people to kill, and with 3 people on your team, you can take the tower a little easier. Mid, probably the next best. Invading, probably the next best. If he can't solo the dragon, maybe he's doing this to set up for a dragon, fight, I don't know. But if he just continues farming, that's literally the worst thing he could do, because he's just getting plus 300 gold. And you, at the top, remember, you got a successful gank off, that's like plus 1,000. So if we just compared what you did to what he did, you're plus 1,000, he's plus 300, you're plus 700. You ganking and successfully pulling off is winning. It's really, really good. Let's change it up a little. Let's say that same situation, but the Olaf, he is full health. So he's right here, your Irelia's half health, you're here, you know he doesn't have wards. Do you think you're going to get the gank off? Do you think you're going to kill him?
Probably not. Well, that depends. I'm still level 5, correct?
Yeah, you're still level 5.
I don't think I'd be able to, because I'm guessing that since they're top lane, they'll be getting more experience than me at this time.
Yeah, he's probably level 6, so
he'll be able to get out.
Yeah, now Irelia's level 6 too, but she's like half health. Half health means she'll be able to get a stun off, but if he's really, really good, maybe he pops his ult when he sees her dash in. Maybe he still has flash up in this situation too. So there's a bunch of other things. But let's say maybe you the gank off and you kill him, maybe you just burn his summoners and he sits here, waits for you to leave, and goes back and does his stuff. It's still a successful gank if you burn his summoners, but if you go top and you don't kill him, Fiddlesticks can do all those things still on the other side of the map. So let's say 50% of the time you kill him, just because the Irelia is a challenger smurf or something. You're really, really good because you're getting coaching and you're getting better mechanically and practicing and thinking about the game. So 50% of the time you're going to kill him. 50% of the time you're not going to kill him. Do you think it's still worth for you to go up here and try the gank?
No, probably not at this point.
The way I think about it, let's say that gank, if successful, is going to give you that 1,000 gold we talked about, just for your team. That's with the kill, the assist, pushing the minions up, denying Olaf, stuff like that, right? What are you going to get if not successful?
Kind of nothing, literally.
Let's call it literally nothing. Maybe you get like a minion as you're going in. Maybe you smite one for some reason as you go by. But let's just call it nothing. And if we're saying 50% of the time you're going to successfully kill him, 50% of the time you're not, what's a good way to think about this?
50.
It's just a very simple math problem. I'm just showing you like one way you can think about this. How much gold is this worth with a 50% chance of success?
Like 500.
Yeah, like all you have to do is multiply this chance of success by this. Now this is a lot to do in game, but once you get like 100 games or so on Diana, you'll see this same situation show up over and over, and you're like, okay, I know I'm never going to kill him, or I know, okay, I've only killed this guy 30% of the time. You know, that tells you maybe I go and farm my own jungle and I don't reveal my position to the enemy jungler who can then go and take a 3,000 gold dragon or something, you know, right? But if you think about it as like a percent success, 50% of the time I'm going to go up here, we're going to get a kill. 50% of the time we're not. This play is worth 500 gold in that situation. Now, if we look at what Fiddlesticks can do, what is the only situation where that is a good idea? Because if he invades and all your camps are up, you know, 100% of the time this is going to work. Solo dragon, probably that's like, let's say 90% of the time that works, unless mid lane like comes and jumps on him, something like that. You know, if he ganks mid, it's the same kind of thing, but you know, maybe it's a bigger success rate for him because mid lane's pushed up. I don't know. But figure that probably every single thing he can do in this situation is better, stat-wise. Because like even if you go up there and fail, he can just invade your jungle and he gets 800 gold, you get 0. And if you win, you know, it's 1,000 gold, so you're up 200. But over enough games, because remember, League is a marathon, it's not a sprint. One game doesn't matter, it's like 10 games, it's 100 games. If you do this over and over and over again, and Fiddlesticks always does this, and you always gank, and 50% of the time you get it, 50% of the time you don't, you're going to be getting 500 gold worth of stuff, he's going to be getting 800 gold worth of stuff, and vision, which will help him set up the next play. So over enough games, this jungler will beat you, just because he's getting an extra 300 gold every time you do that. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah.
So the way to think about it is, okay, how much is every decision worth, and what should I be doing to maximize that worth? And at the same time, how do I minimize what the enemy jungler is doing? And a lot of that's just knowing, okay, each decision is worth about this much. And then, based on that, what can he do? And remember, if you have wards here, and maybe you have like a pink ward here, and you see Fiddlesticks just like nice and low, like walking towards his chickens, you know, suddenly he can't really do dragon if you go gank top, because it's going to take him a while to run here. By the time that happened, maybe you like back and come back here, maybe you walk down, I don't know, because Olaf just runs away, mid lane comes with you, like it changes things dramatically if you see him and you know he's here versus here. But if you see him here on your wards and you're about to gank top, and you're like, okay, this Olaf is full health, full mana, has ult, has ghost maybe too, you know, it's not really worth taking it. Now, at the same time, maybe it is because Rift Herald's up. We didn't talk about Rift Herald. What's Rift Herald worth?
I actually have no idea. I rarely ever get Rift Herald, to be honest with you.
So we only have 13 minutes because you got to leave at 11. But Rift Herald is the most disgustingly broken buff in League of Legends for a split-pushing duelist. What it does is it gives you 5% damage reduction, which is a lot when you're not around anybody. And it also gives you a free spell that charges up kind of like a static shiv or a Luden's Echo. As you walk around, it gets charges at 100. You just do a buttload of damage that scales with your level. And the buff lasts for 20 minutes, even if you die. And if you take that one mastery point, I forget what it's called. Let me look it up real quick so I don't tell you the wrong thing. This one, Runic Affinity. It makes buffs from neutral monsters last 15% longer. 15% of 20 minutes is 3 minutes. So if you're like duo with a top laner and you're planning to take Rift Herald and give it to them, and you have this mastery point on them, they get the most disgusting buff in the game for 23 minutes. And it stacks with Baron, it stacks with all your dragon stuff. It's really, really good. The way to think about Rift Herald, if you give it to somebody, like let's say they were 0-2 in lane and they're down 50 CS. If they're melee, because ranged people get half the damage from the damage proc, melee get the full damage. But if they're melee, they are now winning lane, even though they're down 2 kills and 50 CS, just because of the stats given by the Rift Herald.
Mm-hmm.
It's really, really good. So 2 kills, figure 600 gold, 50 CS, again, 20 gold. It's really, really good. It's like giving somebody like 1,000 to 2,000 gold worth of stats, depending on if they're ranged or melee, depending on the matchup. So there could be a situation, because again, the answer is it always depends, where you force Olaf out of lane. You burn his summoners, you get him down to a 3rd health, you shove the wave here, and even with the Infernal Dragon down here, even with Fiddlesticks on as a blue buff, able to solo that, maybe your win condition is you want Irelia to be unstoppable. So you just force Olaf out of lane, and then you do the Rift Herald, and you give up 1 dragon. That could be completely worth. And then maybe you kill him too, because he was super low, like our first example, and then you shove the wave up, and then you take Rift Herald, and then you have like a 4,000 gold swing instead of a 1,000 gold swing. Even if they take dragon, I think that's worth. So it kind of depends, but that's kind of where all the objectives sit in the big scheme of things. Think of the Rift Herald as 2 kills plus 50 CS worth of stuff. And again, like the person still has to be able to use that. So if your top laner is just a complete moron, lagging, maybe 9,000 ping because they're playing on a BlackBerry down in Antarctica, maybe if they're 0-5 because they're just tower diving because they're a robot, don't give them the Rift Herald. Don't even make this play. But if they're really, really good, or they're playing a really strong, like 1v1ing split push champion, like a Trendemir, that Irelia, stuff like that, or even a Trundle. Trundle becomes unkillable if you get him that. It might be worth giving up one of these 3,000 gold dragons just because this is so much stuff. So many stats. Okay, but we're at 10:50. We got 10 minutes. Your initial question was, okay, when should I farm? When should I gank? Pretty much when you should gank is whenever you will get more than farming. And way to think about it, think each camp 100 gold worth of just farm. You'll get that experience too, so it kind of depends. If you're playing Diana, remember, you want to get level 6, so it might be better to farm than try to do a gank that has like a 10% chance of succeeding because you don't have your full burst combo. But then that chance goes up dramatically when you hit, level 6. Maybe it jumps from 10% to 90 just because you get an extra ult in the mix. It's easier to gap close, stuff like that. So depending on who you're playing, depending on what's happening on the other side of the map, it may be better to farm than gank. It may be better to gank than farm, but it all depends on what can I get for that decision. So I think if you, and I'll send you this video afterwards too, but I think if you think about decisions kind of like this, and remember we broke down what each of the dragons is worth, we broke down what the Rift Herald is worth, we talked about how chance of success kind of matters. The way I like to think about ganks is I just kind of simplify it. I'm not like, well, I have a 23.6% chance, and I'm not like calculating my gold income and stuff. I think about it, okay, this is a 0% chance, this is a 50-50, or this is a 100% chance. I'm for sure going to kill them. And then it just simplifies things for me in my brain. If it's a 0% chance, okay, I'm not even going to bother. If it's a 100% chance, I'm like, okay, this is what I'm going to get. Am I giving up a giant dragon? Is the enemy team going to destroy my bot lane and take all the things on this half of the map if I go top? You know, stuff like that. Am I fine trading Rift Herald for whatever's going to happen in bot?
Yeah.
But then it makes the decision a lot easier. And if not, then I just farm. Farming is the default. And if you have information, you know, okay, enemy jungler's doing something bot. Well, I can't really do anything top because Olaf is here. He's full health. He's under tower. Irelia doesn't want Rift Herald because she's bad. Mid lane's pushed in. I can't really tower dive because I'm still level 5. You know, do the same thing we said Fiddlesticks could do to you. Farm his jungle. Drop some wards into magical spots, you know, that'll let you see him doing things. And that'll set him behind that 600 gold because you get 300, he doesn't get 300. 300 plus 300, 600. So even if he gets something down here, maybe he gets 1,000 gold if he pulls off a perfect gank. You're still getting like 600 gold. It's not that bad. It's still bad, but it's not as bad as if you farmed your own jungle. And then maybe by the time you're done, one of these lanes is pushed back out, and you can get your own gank, and you can like swing things back in your favor. Kind of makes sense?
Yeah.
You're quiet. I'm trying to talk fast because you said you had something to do at 11. So ask questions if it doesn't.
No, everything's going well. Yeah.
Okay.
Just a little sleepy today.
Oh, no worries. I don't blame you, man. I had a long day at work, too. I just took a nap, so I'm, like, super hype right now. I'm probably the same way an hour ago.
Yeah.
All right, we got 7 minutes left. What else do you want to talk about? Because that's pretty much my spiel on when should you farm, when should you gank.
Do you got any tricks to use in silver? Some things, because I know I understand like the vision whole thing, like not the vision is less looked at compared to other ranks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm just so I don't see a point in me getting trackers, like the tracker.
Yeah, because your team can't really use the vision, is what you're saying?
Yeah, basically. So I'm just saying that just getting the red or the blue would be better in that case. So I should just...
Again, it depends how you're going to play the map, how you're going to use it. Like, if I'm down in silver, I like playing tanky support junglers. I am going to be getting trackers probably every game because I will use the vision to set up, like, the next 7 minutes of my game.
Okay.
But if you don't play like that, and you're more like warding so that your teammates will look at it, then yeah, don't get it. Don't get trackers for sure. Probably the way I would play in silver, you're just trying to climb. Do you care about getting better? Do you care about elo? What's the point? What are we doing?
Just trying to beat my brother in ranks.
Okay, so straight elo.
Yeah, he's boosted trash. Yep.
I think we all are deep down inside. But anyway, trash can do amazing things. That's why they call it a trash can, not a trash cannot, right?
Oh.
Sorry. Just I read that on a bumper sticker. But what I would recommend if you're down in silver, and let me preface this with a question to you. How often are your teammates absolute shitheads? Meaning like spamming surrender, just trying to quit, blaming you for them losing lanes, stuff like that.
I don't know. I mute teammates a lot if they're annoying.
How often do you mute somebody?
Almost every 2 games, I'll end up either muting one person or almost a whole team, depending on how toxic and it just depends on who's playing more or less.
So I got one person to a whole team every 2 games. So let's say on average per game, so that's 1 game where you don't mute anybody, it's all great. 1 game where you mute the entire team, that averages to about 2.5 people per game. Well, let's call it 2 people.
Yeah.
One of the best tricks to climb in low elo where people are shitheads and have horrible attitudes is you look up the entire enemy team on op.gg before the game starts, and you find the guy that's on a losing streak, and you camp their lane. And you tilt him because they have really bad attitudes. And you don't play Diana jungle, you play something that can gank at level 3. And so you get buff, camp, buff.
Volibear.
Yeah, play Volibear. Start if you're orange, you know, this is you're starting blue, you're doing a camp, wolves or chickens, because they're both really easy to clear, and then you do your red, and then you're ganking mid or top, whoever it is, whoever is on the losing streak. If it's bot, you're starting red, wolves, blue, then you're ganking bot. But dirtiest, easiest trick to climb, just because people have shitty attitudes, and there's more than one way to win the game. Remember, we said that if you get them surrender, you win too. Is you camp the shit out of the player that has the bad attitude and is on a losing streak to tilt him. Because if they give up 5 minutes into the game and they're sitting in Nexus, I guarantee you're going to get a surrender at 20 minutes. It's also going to be a lot easier to win when you literally have one less lane to worry about.
Yeah.
Because, oh, cool. You know, the support's AFK. What's the AD carry going to do? He's going to get zoned out of farm. Or the enemy team's just going to kill him over and over. Cool. Now you don't have to worry about this half of the map. That's done. That simplifies your options. Now you can just sit top and mid once you've gotten this person to rage quit. And they come back, you come right back bot, and you, like, welcome them back, you know. It's dirty. It's dirty.
Yeah.
And be sure to ask, like, if you notice that they're gone, hey, where's this person? In all chat, just to be a nothing bannable, but just really rub some lemon juice and some salt and some 150 proof adult beverage into that wound, okay? Okay. That is what I would recommend with only 5 minutes to talk about a strategy that works really, really well down in Silver. It's a little dirty, but play early impact junglers. Volibear would be a great one because he's unkillable. There's not much you can do to him early game. Yes. And then just camp the guy that's having a bad set of games.
Okay.
Cool.
All right, yep.
All right, anything else? We got 2 minutes before you got to go out with your mates, so I think we did a decently good job.
Yeah, I think it went pretty well.
Nice, and I will send you a clip of this video so you don't have to take notes. If you want to remember how much gold we said everything was, and be like, Gunday, you're wrong. You were off 2 decimal points or whatever. By all means, do that. I'll become a better player.
I highly doubt that. I will probably not. I don't take the time to do that either.
That's fair. Everything's pretty close. The hierarchy is right, you know.
Okay.
So, cool. All right, man. Good luck. Have fun tonight, whatever you're doing.
All right. Well, next time you see me, I'll be in Masters, confirmed.
Good. You can carry me then. Excellent.
That's right. Okay. All right, bye.
Bye. All right, there we go. We did it.